Take a couple of moments just to settle in. You can let your eyes close down. Just begin to follow your breath. Follow the breath flowing in and flowing out. The air has cleared a bit today, which is really wonderful. And I can feel that difference in it. Hopefully you can too. The air to me feels relatively crisp and clean and cool. Let's enjoy about 5 more breaths. Just follow the breath flowing in and flowing out. And 2 more. And 1 more. You can open your eyes now. Bring your hands to your knees, palms facing down. Sit up nice and tall. Now hug the shoulders up towards the ears. And then exhale and drop the shoulders back and down. Do that again. Shoulders shrugging up towards the ears and then back and down. 1 more time. Shrug the shoulders up even higher. And then exhale back and down. Relax the shoulders a little bit. You can shake it out if that feels good, releasing a little bit of that tension in the upper back between the shoulder blades. Right ear to right shoulder now. And then chin comes to chest, left ear to left shoulder. And then lift the chin up high, looking up towards our cloudless sky. Right ear to right shoulder, chin to chest. Left ear to left shoulder, chin lifts up high. 1 more time around, right ear to right shoulder. Chin to chest. Beautiful, deliberate movement. Lift the chin up high and right ear to right shoulder. Now let the head come back to center. Take a deep breath. Then we'll go back the other way. Left ear to left shoulder, chin to chest. Right ear to right shoulder, chin lifts up high, look up. Left ear to left shoulder, chin to chest. Right ear to right shoulder, chin lifts up high. 1 more time around. And then let your chin drop to your chest. Level the chin, let your arms reach up and overhead. Bring the palms together, bring the hands forward. Stretch through the elbows, reach the fingertips forward. You feel a nice stretch between the shoulder blades. Bring the hands behind you, interlace the fingers behind the back and straighten your elbows. Now pick the knuckles up if you can, so the hands are lifting a little bit above the mat. Draw your navel in, now hinge at the hips and fold forward. Bring the forehead down towards the mat or the grass, reach the knuckles up and overhead. And then inhale and rise, nice and slow coming up. Once you're all the way up and your body, your upper body is perpendicular to the mat, take a gentle twist to the left, keeping the fingers interlaced and the elbows straight if you can, back to center and over to the other side. And back to center. Reach the arms up and then exhale the hands to heart center. Thank you again for the flowers. They're so beautiful. Bring the arms out to a T. Right hand comes down. Press the right palm into the mat. Reach the left hand up and over. Now press through the right palm, helping the body back to center and over to the other side. Left hand comes down now. A little bend in the left elbow is fine. Reach the right hand up and over, stretching the right side body. Inhale and rise back up. 1 more time on each side, this same way, stretching it out. And inhale and rise. And stretch. Left hand down, right hand reaches. Inhale, come back up. We're going to do something different now. Bring the right hand down. Reach the left hand straight up and stretch the left side body. Now see if you can keep both elbows straight and bring the left hand down. We're going to press the left palm into the mat just next to the right hand. The tips of the thumbs can touch if you're able to do that. Now seat both sitting bones, particularly that left sitting bone which wants to lift up a little bit. press both palms into the mat. Now keep the right palm into the mat, reach the left hand up, and then rise all the way back up. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Reach straight up to start, stretching the right side, and then bring that right hand down, place it next to the left hand so that the tips of the thumbs touch. Square the shoulders. Take a deep breath, press that right palm into the mat even a little bit more. Now left hand stays down, right hand rises. Reach all the way back up. Let's just flow a little bit from side to side. Just because it's fun to do. So great to see you all here today in our beautiful sunshine. And one more time. And last one on the left side, or the right side, or left side. Inhale, reach the arms back up high. And let's come to table pose. The grass feels cool this morning. Inhale to cow pose, dropping your belly, lifting your chin up high, and then exhale into cat pose by drawing the navel up towards the sky. Inhale to cow, and exhale to cat. Let your breath begin to deepen as you flow between cow and cat. Look at all the people who've shown up. Keep it going. Inhaling to cow pose and exhale to cat. Let's do 4 more. Inhaling to cow, exhaling to cat, and 2 more. And 1 more. Walk your hands forward now, about 2 or 3 inches. Press your hips to the right. Press into that left palm so the hips are really pressing over, and you can feel that on the outside of that right hip. Now slowly begin to glide the hips forward so the weight comes into the hands, and then the hips move over to the left. Now press into that right palm a little bit more. Press the hips to the left a little more until you feel that in the outside of the left hip. Now press the tailbone back towards the heels, completing our circle, and just continue circling the hips around. And start with kind of small circles, and then begin to exaggerate the movement, allowing the hips to become larger, the circles with the hips to become larger and larger and larger. Keep flowing around. Couple more times. Now your biggest, widest circles. And then come back to center. And let's go back the other way now. Small circles starting. So hips to the left, and then back, and then forward, and then to the right. And let the circles now become wider and wider and wider. We'll go around about 5 times, which is what we did pretty much on the other side. And twice more around. Now your widest circles with the hips. Make sure you keep the hands engaged in the mat. So try not to lift the hands up. Try to keep the elbows relatively straight. Last time around. Good job, everybody. Bring it all back to center now. Once you're there, reach your left hand forward. The right hand reaches back, table extension pose. Reach through the left hand. Point the toes, if you like, on the right foot and reach back through that right foot. The hand and the foot are about at the same level, so that right foot's about the same level as the hip on the right side, left hand about the same level as the shoulder on the left side. Stretch it out now, a little bit more length. Now elbow comes towards knee as the spine rounds, your head drops down, and then slowly reach back out. So slow it down a little bit. Do that a second time, bring the elbow towards the knee, and then slowly reach back out, lengthening. And last one on this side, elbow comes towards knee, and then reach it back out. And bring the left hand down and the knee down. Over to the other side. Right hand reaches out, left foot reaches back. Coming to table extension pose on our second side. And stretch it out a little bit more. Point the toes, if you like, on the left foot. Stretching towards the back of your mat. Reaching the right hand forward. I love it that everyone is not on the same side. Hopefully the people who are on the other side did the other side last time around. Instead of doing the same side twice. One more breath, stay with it. Lengthen just a little bit more, really stretching. And now, elbow comes towards knee as you release all the tension you created, and then reach back out. Second time, elbow comes towards knee as the spine rounds, and then reach it out. And last one, elbow comes towards knee, spine rounds deeply, and then reach back out. Find that length again, my friends, and then bring your hand down and your knee down. Inhale to cow pose, and exhale to cat. Twice more, inhale to cow pose, and exhale to cat. And one more time, inhale to cow. Belly drops down, lift the chin a little higher, and then exhale to cat, and then back to a neutral spine. From there, step your right foot forward, bringing the right foot between the hands. Press into the right foot and reach the arms up and overhead, coming into a low crescent lunge. We call this pose Anjaneyasana in Sanskrit. Reach up high through the wrists, relax the fingertips a little bit. Press that right knee forward even a little bit more, and then bring the hands down on either side of the right foot. Step the right knee back so it meets the left knee. Left foot steps forward now between the hands. Rise to low crescent lunge. First time on this side, second time overall. Press the left knee forward a little bit. Reach up through the wrist. Lengthen the upper body, really stretching up high, and then bring the hands down on either side of the left foot. Now tuck your toes and straighten the right leg. And then step the right foot forward, coming to a standing forward fold. Let your head drop down. The weight's in the front of the feet, remember, in this pose. And this early in the practice, your hamstrings may feel tight. So feel free to bend your knees. And as you bend your knees, let your head get heavier. And what I mean by that is release your neck muscles. Let the head go completely. Now see if we can bring the weight into the front of the feet just a bit more. Now keep your chin on your chest, round your spine as you rise. Once you come all the way up, let your arms float up high. Reach up and look up. Bring the palms together, and then hands to heart center, gaze levels. Take a deep breath. Inhale, reach back up. Now arms come out to a T and swan dive into a forward fold, and then a half lift. Hands to the top of the shins. Weight still in the front of the feet, so the heels are floating above the mat just a bit. Now a slight bend in the knees and fold forward. Let your head drop down. Chin on chest, spine rounds as we rise. Draw the navel up towards the spine. Let the arms float up. Look up and exhale. Bring the hands to heart center. Let's do that one more time, this time with a back bend. Inhale up and back. Exhale and fold forward. Half lift. And let your head drop down. Chin on chest, spine rounds as you rise. Weight still in the front of the feet. Reach up high, look up. And exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Take a breath now. Reach the arms out to a T, swan dive, forward fold, half lift. This time bring the hands all the way down to the mat and step the left foot back. Right foot stays forward. So we come into a nice long runner's lunge. Bring the left knee to the mat and arms reach up high into a low crescent lunge. Second time on this side. Right knee presses forward a little bit more now as we start to stretch out the hip muscles on that right side and also the hip flexor muscles on the left side. Reach up through the wrists a little bit more. Really lengthen. Now arms come out to a T, palms face forward, thumbs point up. Reach the fingertips on opposite hands apart from one another. Now take your twist to the right. Right hand or left hand reaches forward, right hand is reaching back. And can you look back and take a look at the thumb on the right hand? Now join the palms together, bring the left elbow to the right knee into a prayer twist. See if you can stack the right elbow over the palms and the palms over the left elbow while still pressing that right knee forward, so you're still feeling that sensation in the hip and the hip flexor muscles. Keep the palms together as you push into the right foot, come back to center. Once you're there, palms still pressing together, then reach up high. And then exhale the hands down on either side of the right foot. Now tuck the toes and bring the left knee off the mat. And then step the right foot back into plank pose. Take a deep breath in plank. On the exhale, let the knees drop to the mat. The chest and chin follow, come into cobra pose. Elbows tucked in close to the body in cobra pose. And then release all the way down. Now tuck your toes, push to plank, and lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Stretch it out now. Is this our first downward dog? It is our very first downward facing dog. So lengthen the spine by pressing your hands into the mat. The tailbone stretches towards the back of the space that you're practicing in. Let your heart melt down. Maybe let your head go for a change. So don't need to hold the head up here. You can let the head shake from side to side and up and down. Now on an inhale, reach your left leg up and step the left foot forward so it comes between the hands. Now the right knee comes to the mat and the arms reach up and overhead. Low crescent lunge. Anjaneyasana on our second side. Press that left knee forward even a little bit more. Reach up through the wrists. Lengthen. Stretch it up. Now arms out to a T. Palms face forward. Thumbs point up. Take your twist. This time to the left. Right hand reaches forward. Left hand back. Bring your gaze back so you're looking at the thumb on the left hand. Now the palms join together. Find our prayer twist. You're way back here in no man's land. If you feel a little wobbly, you can always scoot that left knee, or left foot rather, over to the left a little bit more to give you a bit of a wider stance. It will probably make the pose feel a bit more sturdy if that's what you'd like to do. Palms stay together as you press in the left foot, rise back up, reach the arms up high, and then exhale the hands down on either side of that left foot. Toes tuck as the right leg straightens, left knee steps back, left foot steps back, plank pose. Take a breath in plank. Let your hips drop down a little bit so the hips are aligned with the shoulders and the heels. One more breath. Now cobra pose, second one. Knees to the mat, chest and chin follows. Inchworm your way into cobra pose. Can you find a little deeper back bend in cobra pose today? Breathe deeply into the pose. And on the exhale, release all the way down. Toes tucked now as you push to plank, and then lift your hips into downward facing dog. On an inhale, reach the left leg up again. Now three-legged dog. Open the hips to the left, bending the left knee and reaching the left knee up and back. Do your best to stack your left hip over your right hip. And you can get there by bending that left knee even a little bit more and reaching it up just a little bit higher. Good job. Level the hips now. Bring the left foot down. Back to downward facing dog. Now glide forward to plank pose. We're just hinging at the hips. And then lift your hips back up high, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rises, three-legged dog. Second side now, bending that right knee. Work on stacking the right hip over the left hip. One more breath here. Good, now level the hips. Step the right foot forward, bringing it between the hands. Left foot follows, standing forward fold. This time interlace the fingers behind your back. Press the skin of the palms together and reach the knuckles up and maybe forward, letting your head drop down with the weight still in the front of the feet. Reach up high. Now press into the front of the feet and rise. Nice and slow with the spine staying long as you rise. Once you're all the way up, pause and press the knuckles down towards the heels. Bring your shoulder blades even closer together on the back, feeling a huge expansion at the top of the chest. Breathe into that space with our beautiful air this morning. And then release the hands. Reach them up high. And then to heart center. Leave them there. Hinge at the hips. Fold forward. Bring the hands all the way down to the mat. Left foot steps back. Right foot stays forward. Now the right foot steps back to plank pose. Flow through Vinyasa now. Either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. No rush in upward facing dog. We can always remain there 2 or 3 breaths if you like. On an inhale, right leg rises. Lift the right leg high, three-legged dog. Second time on this side. We're not going to be here as long this time. Press that left heel down if you're lifting it up above the mat. Now level the hips off and step the right foot forward, bringing it all the way between the hands. Spin the left heel to the mat and rise to Warrior Two. First time in Warrior Two in our practice today. Check in with your alignment. Make sure the toes on the right foot are pointing straight forward and the toes on the left foot are more or less off to the left about 90 degrees. Bring your gaze forward so you're looking over your extended right hand. And now find extended side angle pose. Bring the elbow to the knee. Reach through the left hand, stretching out of the left shoulder. Lots and lots of length on the whole left side body. Remember to press the pinky toe of the left foot into the mat. Good adjustment. Stretch through that left hand even a little bit more so you find just a bit more length on the left side. Now rise back to Warrior Two. Settle into the pose. Just relax. And now reverse triangle pose. Right leg straightens, reach up and back with the right hand pressing into the right foot, that forward foot. Straightening the right leg, good adjustment. Reach, really lengthen. Now arms come out to a T as we prepare to move into triangle pose. Press into the back foot, reach the right hand forward and then drop it down. Triangle pose. Spine nice and long. Open the left shoulder up towards the sky. One more breath. I'm sorry. Now keep the right leg straight and rise. Huge amount of core strength involved. Bend the right knee now. Drop back into Warrior Two and bring the hands down on either side of the right foot. Come up onto the ball of the left foot. Left hand stays down, right hand reaches high. This is a lunge twist. The right knee is still bent about 90 degrees and pointing straight forward. Now bring the right hand down to the inside of the right foot and reach the left hand high. This is a revolved lunge twist. Now bring the left hand down, move the right hand to the outside of the right foot, step the right foot back into plank pose. 3 breaths in plank. Big deep breath in and exhale completely. All the breath comes out on the exhale. Do that twice more. Big deep breath on the inhale and a complete exhale. And one more. Big deep breath. Exhale. Now flow through a vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And then when you're ready, downward facing dog. Awesome work, everybody. 3 breaths now in downward dog. Find that length again in the spine. Remember to spread your fingers wide on the mat, pressing both the palms as well as the pads of the fingers into the mat. On an inhale, reach the left leg up this time. 3-legged dog. The hips open to the left now. Take a deep breath and then level the hips. Left foot steps all the way forward between the hands. Spin the right heel to the mat and rise. Warrior Two. Second side. Check in with that left knee. Make sure the left knee is pointing straight forward. Couple more breaths in Warrior Two. Scoot the foot over here. There you go. So we're looking for that alignment. Left knee bends even a little bit more as you drop more deeply into the pose. Now extended side angle. Elbow comes towards the knee. And reach through the right hand, stretching out of that right shoulder. Anchor into the pinky toe of the right foot. So what that probably means is you're going to need to roll your ankle, that right ankle, towards the back of the mat a little bit. Now rise to reverse triangle pose. Left leg straightens. Reach up and back with the left hand. Stretch as you press into that left foot. Now arms come out to a T, palms facing down, press into the back foot, reach the right hand forward, drop it down, triangle pose, open the right shoulder up towards the sky, head reaching straight forward. A little more. There you go. You got it. Perfect. Keep that left leg straight as you rise. Again, lots of core strength that way. Bend the left knee. Bring the hands down on either side of that left foot. Right hand stays down now. Left hand reaches up. Lunge twist. Press the right palm into the mat. Feel the earth give a little bit beneath you. Reach the left hand high. Big stretch up through that left hand. Now bring the left hand down to the inside of the left foot and the right hand reaches up. Stay up on the ball of that back foot if you can. Right leg is still nice and straight and strong. Bring the right hand down. Move the left hand to the outside of the left foot and step the left foot back into plank pose. 3 breaths again in plank. Big, deep, beautiful breaths with the fingers spread really wide. One more. Now let's find a side plank. Roll over on the pinky toe side of the right foot. The right hand stays down. The left hand reaches up. If you want more out of the pose, you know what to do. Pick the left foot up. Reach the left hand forward. It's always optional, so don't feel like you need to do it. Only if you want to. Only if you feel like you want more energy in the pose. One more breath. Bring the left foot down. If it's lifted, left hand comes down. We're back to plank pose. Now reestablish yourself in plank, finding your alignment, and then flow to the other side of the side plank. Left hand down, right hand reaches. And we're on the pinky toe side of that left foot. You can pick the right foot up if you want to. The right hand can reach forward. One more breath. Release the right foot down. Right hand comes down. Back to plank pose. Flow through a vinyasa now. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga into upward facing dog. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. Now bend your knees, and we're going to take a little hop. Even if it's just 2 or 3 inches, or maybe you can hop all the way forward between the hands. Eventually, bring the arms out to a T with the weight in the front of the feet. Reverse swan dive as you rise. Come all the way up. And then reach up and back. Find that back bend again. Lift your chin up as high as you can so you're looking at your hands. And now press your hips forward a little bit. Press the chest up towards the sky. Little deeper back bend. Come out by reaching the hands straight up. And then bring the hands to heart center. 2 breaths now. You can let your eyes close down if that feels good. And one more breath. Now reach the arms straight up. Then bend the knees, come down to chair pose. Utkatasana is the name of the pose in Sanskrit. You can bend the knees even a bit more if you like. Remember the weight is in the heels in this pose. The feet are roughly parallel to one another. Good adjustments. Now bring the hands to heart center. We're going to do another twist, this time a chair twist. Bring the left elbow to the right knee and reach the right elbow up to towards our cloudless sky. And then back to center, palms stay together, and then to the other side. Right elbow to left knee, left elbow reaches high. And back to center. Back to chair now, with the weight in the heels, stretching out of the shoulders. Now straighten the legs, and reach up and back, and then exhale, fold forward. Come to a half lift, and exhale the hands all the way down to the mat. Take a 3/4 step back with your left foot so the right foot stays forward. Spin the left heel to the mat, and and let's rise to Warrior 1. Remember in Warrior 1, the hips are square to the front of the mat. Pull your left hip forward a little more. Pull the right hip back so the hips are really beautifully squared up. Morning. How are you? Huh? Yeah, you've done a lot of push-ups this morning. You didn't think I'd noticed. You've done 23 so far, but who's counting? Bring the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Now straighten your elbows. Now notice if you've moved your shoulders off to the side. If you had, re-square them to the front of the mat. Take a deep breath. Now, humble warrior. Love this pose. Right shoulder comes down towards the right knee. Let the shoulder land. Let your head drop down. Reach your knuckles up and overhead. Keep pressing that right knee forward. Keep weight in the back foot. Now rise. Shoulders are level as you come up. And then once the shoulders come all the way up, square them up again towards the front of the mat. Release the hands now. Reach them high and straighten that right leg. Hinge at the hips as you reach up through the fingertips and then halfway down, bowing forward. Press into the right foot and rise. Feel that in the abdominal muscles, the glutes, and the low back. Now hands come to heart center. Bend the right knee. Take a breath. Now we're going to bring the weight into the right foot and step the left foot into standing big knee pose. And from there, tree pose. Sole the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Finding your place in our second balancing pose, tree pose. Just breathe and feel the balance. And part of balance may be unsteadiness. Now our third balancing pose is standing figure 4. So bring the left ankle to the right knee and then begin to bend that right knee, bringing the left elbow down towards the left knee and the right elbow towards the instep of the right foot. Good job, everybody. It's a challenge this morning. We got a lot of balancing poses. Slowly come out, and then reach your arms up and overhead. Bring the palms together, interlace the fingers. So find Arrow Mudra. Now release the left ankle if you haven't. Straighten the left leg, and then hinge at that right hip, coming into Warrior 3. Fingertips reach forward. Left foot reaches back. Keep the length in the spine. Stay grounded and rooted in that right foot. Finish by bringing the hands to the mat, reaching the left leg up and overhead. This is our standing splits. Now let your head drop down so the forehead comes closer to the shin of that right leg. Maybe lift the left leg up a little higher, bending the right knee if you want to. Now right knee bends, step way back with the left foot. We've come to runner's lunge. Left hand stays down, right hand reaches up. Second time here, lunge twist. Now the right hand comes down inside the right foot, and the left hand reaches high. This is our revolved lunge twist. Take a deep breath, and let it go. Do that again, a big deep breath, and let it go. Bring the left hand down. Now bring the left knee to the mat, untuck the toes, bring the elbows down to the mat, lizard pose. If your elbows don't come all the way down to the mat, just bend the elbows, bring the elbows down as far, bend the elbows, bring the elbows down as far as you're able with the hands still on the mat. So don't worry if you can't come all the way down. You'll still get the same benefits of the pose. 2 more breaths. This is a huge hip opening pose. You're probably feeling this in the hip on the right side. Anyone not feeling this? Everybody is? Good. Now one more thing. Let's explore a little bit in this pose by moving the knee away, off to the side, to the right. And then maybe move that knee back towards the shoulder and see what that feels like. Noticing the difference in the hip. Come back up onto the hands. Left hand stays on the left side of the right foot. Move the right hand to the outside. Tuck the toes, bring the right knee off the mat. And then reach the right leg all the way up and overhead. 3-legged dog. Right leg up, open the hips to the right. We're doing a lot of 3-legged dogs today. And level the hips. Bring the right foot down, glide forward to plank pose, and flow finally through a vinyasa. It's not our final vinyasa, but it seems like it's been a long time since we've done one. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. On the inhale, left leg rises. Three-legged dog, open the hips to the left. Remember to press your right heel down so that you feel a nice stretch in the back of the right leg. I'm maybe rising all the way up towards the glute. Now level the hips and then 3/4 step forward with that left foot. Bring the right heel to the mat and rise warrior one. Square up the hips again towards the front of the mat. Upper body nice and vertical. Now bring the hands behind. Interlace the fingers in the non-dominant way, using the non-dominant grip, the awkward way, using the non-dominant grip. And now hinge at the hip. Bring the left shoulder down towards the left knee. You maybe let it land if you're able to. Now press into the left foot and rise. Nice and slow coming up. Once you're up, release your hands. Straighten the left leg. Square up the hips again. So pull that left hip back, pull the right hip forward. Now hinge at the hips, about halfway down so your upper body is parallel to the mat. Press into the left foot and rise back up. Bring the hands to heart center, bend the left knee. Take a breath. Now begin to bring the weight into the left foot. Let the right foot float into standing big knee pose. Yeah, pick that right knee up. Good job. Balance takes practice. Ask any 8-month-old.
It does.
Now tree pose. Bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of that left leg. Or maybe heel to ankle and big toe on the mat. So that it's just a kickstand. We still get all the benefits of the balancing pose. Now standing figure 4, bring the right ankle to the left knee. And then bend that left knee. Drop down. Just doing your best. And I know it's a lot of balancing poses. Slowly rise. We're going to move into Warrior 3. Arms reach up and overhead. Interlace the fingers. Find your arrow mudra. Stretching up towards the sky. Left leg nice and straight. Now straighten the right leg and swing it back. Lifting the right foot so that it's level with the hip. And reaching the fingertips forward. We have all these people in back of the camera over here. I should swing the camera around and we could just show you all. Finish with standing splits. Hands come down to the mat. Right leg lifts. Bend your elbows here. So remember, let the shoulders drop down, and as you do that, what you'll notice is that your forehead is coming closer to the shin. That's what we're looking for. Now left knee bends, step way back with the right foot. Runner's lunge. Right hand stays on the mat now. Left hand reaches high as we come to a lunge twist. Bend your left knee even more. Even a little more. There you go, perfect. Now left hand down to the inside of that left foot and the right hand reaches high. Revolved lunge twist on this side. Now the right hand comes down, and now lizard pose. Bring the right knee to the mat, untuck the toes, come down to the elbows if you are able to. And just start to feel that in the hip on the left side. Is that working?
Yeah. I definitely need the block, there's no question about it.
Can you come down to the elbows? like this. Yeah, try it. 2 more breaths. There you go. Good job. It's a little wobbly there with the grass. 1 more breath. Now slowly walk back up onto the hands. Bring the left hand to the outside the left foot, toes tuck, and the right leg straighten so the right knee comes off the mat. Now the left leg reaches up and overhead. You forgot that part, didn't you? 3-legged dog, our last one. Opening the hips to the left and stacking the left hip over the right hip. Level the hips off now. Left foot steps all the way forward, bringing it between the hands. The right foot's going to follow. Now, arms out to a T, reverse swan dive. As you rise, bend the knees and come to chair pose. Weight comes back into the heels again. And hands to heart center. Chair twist. Right elbow to left knee. Left elbow reaches high. Check in with the knees. Make sure that they're even with one another. I do that every single time I do this pose because that right knee just has a mind of its own. It wants to come forward. And you have to remind it to come back and stay even with the other knee. Back to center and over to the last side. Left elbow to right knee. Now notice that left knee has a mind of its own. And back to center. Arms reach up high, back to chair pose. And then straighten up and exhale the hands to heart center. 3 breaths now. You can let your eyes close down. Let the breath start to return to its normal rhythm. Now reach the arms out, palms face down. Actually, let's face the palms towards one another with the thumbs pointing up. Bend the knees, come down to chair a little bit, and then pull your tailbone down towards your heels, taking some of that arch out of the lumbar spine. Take a deep breath and then exhale and drop down just a little bit more, reaching through the fingertips. And again, deep breath in, exhale, drop down just a bit more, still reaching through the fingertips. And one more time, deep breath in, exhale, come down as far as you can, and then bring the hands behind you and come to a seat. Once you're seated, lay down on your back and go to sleep. No, that's not what we're going to do. Although there seems to be a lot of sentiment in favor of that. Bring the hands to the back of the knees, just the palms pressing into the back of the knees, and then let your heels float up. Draw the shoulder blades together on the back. Let the chest rise up. And then tuck the elbows in a little bit. So try not to flare the elbows out like that. Now straighten the legs and try and avoid grasping your legs. We don't want to engage the muscles of the forearms and the muscles of the shoulders too much. Just supporting the legs in the pose. Take a deep breath. Let the breath go. Stay in the pose. Do that again. Big deep breath. Let the breath go and stay in the pose. Now bring the arms out to a T, palms facing up, legs still nice and straight. See if you can gaze straight forward towards the top of your feet or maybe your big toes. On an inhale, arms reach up high. Exhale, slowly release the hands down. Back to a T. Inhale up, nice and slow. Exhale and down. And one more time. Inhale and up. Exhale the hands to heart center for a different feel. And then bring the soles of the feet together. And then cup your hands on the pinky toe side of the feet. And let's find a floating cobbler. And you're hugging the heels in towards the pubic bone. The knees are nice and open. Draw the shoulder blades together. Remember, the tendency is to do this, to kind of slump into the pose. Do the opposite. Shoulders come back. Chest is rising. Take a deep breath. Now, bring the right hand to the right foot, left hand to the left foot, pinky toe side. And then we're going to straighten the legs. And then bring them out into a wide-legged heron pose or a floating splits. Bring the soles of the feet back together. And let the heels come back towards the pubic bone. Let's do that one more time. Left hand on left foot, right hand on right foot, legs straighten, feet come apart, press the heels away, spine is nice and long. Good job. And last time, soles of the feet together into our floating cobbler pose. Take a big deep breath and let it go. Straighten the legs now. Back to our supported boat pose. I just don't think we've done enough core work yet today. Now reach the hands forward, out to the side, and forward, and out to the side, and forward, and then bend the knees. I'll come over to this side. Bring both legs out in front. How's everybody doing in behind me? I haven't been watching you guys very much. That's good. No, it's not good. Bend the left knee. Bring the sole of the left foot to the outside of the right thigh. And then hug the left knee in with the right arm. Bring the left hand behind you. And then press the right palm into the mat so that the fingers on that left hand are pointing to the right. Now, hug the knee in a little bit more tightly, and on the exhale, twist and look over your left shoulder. Draw the navel in. Take a deep breath. Exhale and twist again. Now see if you can bring some of the weight off that left hand. So the left hand is almost floating. It's there just as a kickstand. Another deep breath in. Exhale, let the breath go. And then release, come all the way back to center. Let's go over to the other side. This pose is called Marichyasana, by the way, but most of you, I think, knew that. Hug the knee in. So the knee is coming towards the left side of the chest, and I hug the knee in the crook of the arm. The other hand, the right hand, is down behind you with the fingers pointing off to the left. Hug the knee in a little bit more tightly. Take a deep breath and exhale. Look over that right shoulder. Do that again. Big deep breath. Let your spine lengthen. Draw the navel in and exhale and twist. And one more time, a big deep breath in and exhale into the twist. And then let it go. Release it. Bring it all back to center. Bring both legs out. Give them a little shake. Slap the back of the knees into the mat. Bend the knees. Then reach the arms out, flip the palms so they face up. Thumbs are pointing apart from one another. Spine still nice and long. Now begin to round the back and come down until you feel your tailbone touch your mat. Just pause there for a moment and see what that feels like. Take a deep breath in and exhale, and now come down until you feel the sacrum, the bottom part of the sacrum touch the mat. Take a deep breath. And then exhale, now the upper part of the sacrum, and then each vertebra in turn as you come all the way down. Eventually come all the way down to your back and land. Once you're there, reach your legs up to the sky, legs up the wall pose. You can point your toes here if you like. Now bend the knees, bring the arms out to a T. Feel the cool, moist grass. With the knees over the hips, let your knees travel to the left and hover an inch above the grass or the floor if you're at home. And then bring it back to center and over to the other side. Knees to the right, let them hover just an inch above the grass. And then back to center and over the left. Let's do it twice more on each side at your own pace. And then finish by bringing the knees back to center and straightening the legs, coming back to legs up the wall pose with the hands down by your side. Point the toes gently And you can either stay here or you can move to plow pose, bringing the toes up and overhead if you like, touching the toes down on the floor behind you or the grass behind you for most. If you prefer, just stay right where you were in legs up the wall pose. Perfectly wonderful pose to stay in for a while. Now, an optional shoulder stand. If you're in plow, bring your hands to your low back. Supporting the low back, lift your feet up. If you're in legs up the wall and you'd like to move to a version of shoulder stand, feel free to do that now, or just stay in legs up the wall. Those in shoulder stand, if you got here from plow, go back to plow now. How now, brown plow? I'm sure there's a nursery rhyme in there somewhere. And then let's all meet back in legs up the wall pose. Bring your tailbone back down to the mat. Now happy baby pose, hands to the pinky toe side of the feet. The soles of the feet are reaching straight up to the sky. So the soles of the feet are parallel to your mat. If it would feel good to straighten the legs and maybe bring the feet apart from one another, stretching out the hamstrings again, feel free to do that as an option, or just stay with the knees bent in happy baby pose. Let's all come back to happy baby pose now and find stillness in the pose. Just take a breath. Now move your left hand to your right foot so both hands are on the right foot. Straighten the left leg and point the toes up towards the sky. Keep the left leg straight. Keep hugging the right knee down towards the right armpit and let the left heel come down towards the mat. Left leg stays straight. Once the heel lands, slowly lift it back up. And then one more time. Bring the left heel down towards the mat. Hug the right knee in. And then lift that left leg all the way back up. Back to happy baby pose. Pause for a moment there. Just take a breath. Recognize you're in happy baby pose. And now bring both hands to the left foot. Straighten the right leg. Gentle point of the toes on the right foot. Keep the right leg straight. Let the right heel come down towards the mat. Let it land and then pick it back up. Right leg stays straight. Reach it back up to the sky. And last time, bring the right heel down. And then slowly lift it back up. Back to happy baby pose. Release the hands from the feet as the heels reach to the sky. Legs up the wall pose. Now bend the knees. Let's find a bridge pose. If you prefer to do wheel pose here, feel free to do that instead. When you're ready, press your feet into the mat. Let that action lift your hips up. If you'd like to interlace your fingers behind your back, feel free to do that as well. And 3 more breaths in bridge pose. With each exhale, see if you can lift your hips just a little bit more. Just another 1/4 inch or so. And one more breath. Then on the exhale, release your hands if they're interlaced. Bring your tailbone to the mat. Once the tailbone lands, the knees can hug into the chest. And if you like, you can bring your forehead towards your knees. On the exhale, let the back of the head come to the mat and straighten the legs. And now you get your wish. It's time for your nap. Or as we call it, Savasana. You let your eyes close down a little bit. Also with the possibility of keeping the eyes gently open, which can be really wonderful outdoors. Maybe there's a tree above you and you can gently watch the leaves. Or maybe you can just gaze up towards the blue sky. Feel your breath returning to its normal rhythm. And feel everything starting to soften. See if you can let go of any hardness that you're carrying with you. Whether it's a muscular hardness or a mental hardness. Start to release any of that edginess. Feel the earth beneath you. And now feel your body naturally conforming to the earth. It may almost feel as if the earth is intentionally cradling your body, supporting you in this pose. Just accept that. Let your breath soften a little bit more. And as the breath softens, let your body soften. And as the body softens, let your mind soften. On your next inhale, breathe in deeply through both nostrils, and then open your mouth and exhale, and just let all the breath go. Do that again, breathing in deeply through both nostrils, and then open your mouth and exhale. And one more time, a deep breath in. Keep breathing in if you can. And then open your mouth wide and just exhale. Let it all go. When you're ready, gently roll to your side. Bending the knees, cradling the head in the arm. And then bring yourself to a seat. Once you're seated and you feel the pressure on the sitting bones, bring your hands to heart center if you like and join the palms together. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing this experience with one another. May you be happy and well, and may you be safe. May you be peaceful, and may you be at ease. Namaste.